You know how sometimes at Grizzlies games during the timeouts, they do that thing with those 2 or 3 FedEx boxes on the Jumbotron, right? They are all moving around furiously, shuffling back and forth, and you have to guess which FedEx box has the ball or whatever other gizmo is beneath it. That's kind of how I imagine the opening line of this week's parashat Ra'eh. You see, God says, Ra'eh anochi noten lifnechem hayom bracha uklala. Behold, today I set before you blessing and curse. If you obey the commandments of your God that I enjoin upon you today, you will have blessing, and curse if you do not obey the commandments of your God and turn away from the path I set upon you today. Of course, each one of us wants to know how to follow the right path, how to find the box with the blessing inside of it. We'll come to how to find that right box. We'll come back to that in a moment. But first, I want to focus on the word that repeats 3 times in these 3 verses, hayom, today. The great Hasidic Rebbe, Rabbi Levi Yitzhak of Berdichev, he got hung up on this word, hayom. The Torah was given thousands of years ago, so he asked, what do we make of this word today in this verse? Today I set before you blessing and curse. Reb Lev Yitzhak does this choice. He asks, does this choice apply only on the day the Torah was given, or which a literal interpretation may imply, or does it apply to our own day too? The answer is fairly obvious. Not only does he say, of course, that this choice between blessing and curse applies in our own day, but he actually says something much deeper. He says that each and every yom, each and every day, God sends illumination and kindness to the world. He brings as evidence the line from the morning prayer, the Yotzer Or, which our bat mitzvah Laila chanted so beautifully last Shabbat. It reads, Uvtuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid maaseh v'reshit, with goodness. I heard it over here. Nice job, Josh. With goodness, each day God renews the work of creation. But how exactly does this renewal work? Is it like God created the world back in the day, but now each and every day God overnights down via FedEx a fresh coat of paint and a Starbucks double shot to renew and reinvigorate the world? Well, I think we should go back to the beginning, to the very beginning, to Bereshit. The first line in the entire Torah, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. We all know what that means, right? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, right? Wrong, very good. In fact, this is a grammatical error in translation. Instead of, as the King James translation reads, in the beginning God created, past tense, heaven and earth. It should read, as does Robert Alter's magisterial new translation of the Hebrew Bible, quote, when God began to create heaven and earth, and the earth was unformed and void, etc., God said, let there be light, and there was light. But the key part is when God began to create. This minor difference in grammar, we have a student rabbi here. Of course, I had to talk about Hebrew grammar. But this minor difference in grammar allows for a massive distinction in our understanding of God. 2 rabbinical students and 3 rabbinical students. Wow, amazing. I'll take 4. Who'll take 4? But this minor difference in grammar allows for a massive distinction in our understanding of God. Read properly, God didn't just create the world billions of years ago, or 57 and 84 years ago, according to our Torah. God didn't create the world, walk away, and just be done with it. No, read properly, Genesis is just the opening moment. And each and every day, even hayom, even today, uvtuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid maaseh v'reshit. God renews the world with goodness. What is new today that wasn't here yesterday? A new flower in bloom, a new spark of love kindled between two people, a special memory forged between a grandparent and a granddaughter or grandson. In Judaism, each and every moment is a work of new creation, each one bearing God's signature. In the words of Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt, every morning we wake to a world which is entirely new. No matter what happened yesterday, each and every day is a chance to begin again. Close quote. For those of us who make mistakes, for those of us who are grieving, who feel stuck in a rut that we can't seem to find our way out of, this is a true and powerful message. But equally important as the renewal is God's tool for sending it. Rabbi Barenblatt continues, God renews creation each day not out of habit, but in goodness. Goodness is the tool with which God renews creation, or maybe the renewal of creation is itself goodness. It is goodness which brings about renewal, and renewal is perennial. Creation is constantly being renewed, and because we are part of creation, so are we. If God is like a divine FedEx, God needs us to be the pilots and the delivery drivers, fueled by goodness, keeping the world on time. I don't think they use that slogan anymore, but it's a good one. So much of Jewish religious practice is imitatio Dei, is trying to be like God. God feeds the hungry, so we feed the hungry. God clothes the naked. God is patient. God forgives, so too should we. So what goodness can you bring to the world? Visiting loved ones in the hospital, teaching little children how to plant flowers, like Judy Bierman did just last week in Leo's garden in our ELC. You could greet a stranger with a smile, encourage a child, send a care package to someone lonely or to an old friend. Even these little acts, all added together on a cosmic level, fuel the renewal of the world. This coming week, as we begin the month of Elul, the month leading up to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we begin our spiritual preparation, our Cheshbon HaNefesh, our Teshuvah, for those holy days. And this year, instead of only judging ourselves for the ways we've fallen short, let us remember and let us lift up all the good that we brought into this world. And let us strive and plan for ways that we can, in 5785, bring even more. For that is the way to choose the box with the blessing, by sending the goodness that is the root of all of our souls out into the world. So send it out. Don't send it second day or even next day. Send it today. Shabbat Shalom.